This is a marital couple session with Bill and Leslie. Before I go into a session, I'd like to say a little bit about what to look for. As you may know, the solution-focused approach is very much into building solutions. That we make a distinction between building solutions and problem solving. Because we have found over the years that problem solving activities are very different than problem solving, than solution building activities. That what one engages in solution building is very much about the future focus, that what they need to do differently in order to find the solutions. Also, that the second point I'd like to make is that there seems to be no connection between the presenting complaint and presenting problem and the solutions to them. And I believe that you will watch how this will manifest clinically. The third point is the therapist's posture is that of not knowing. Harry Gulushan and Harlene Anderson's term that is that therapist not knowing posture that takes, and that is the therapist not the expert, but the client is the expert to their problems and to their solutions. And so the therapeutic task then is through the conversation how to figure out what they need to do in order to generate the solutions that is consistent with their vision of their ideas about what will be satisfactory life for them. Let me come back to a little bit about the couple. Leslie and Bill have been married about 7 years, and they have 2 children, ages 5 and 3. Bill also has another child from the previous marriage, but he rarely sees this child, even though he makes child support payment. Bill is an attorney working for a large law firm, and Leslie is a consumer service director of consumer services for a large telephone company. And as you watch, I would like you to pay attention to how closely the therapist follows the client's ideas of what their solutions are. Nice to see both of you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. I understand, Bill, you are working where? What kind of job? What kind of work do you do?
I'm an attorney.
Uh-huh.
I do taxes primarily for corporations.
Do you?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I understand that's where the big money is.
But we don't see any of it.
You don't see. You don't see.
I think in the next few years,
Yeah.
I'll be up to a fairly decent income. Right now, I'm trying to build a clientele.
Yeah, right.
He tries very hard. He sees so many people in terms of building up that clientele.
Yeah.
He's trying very hard.
Is it?
Mm.
Is he good? Is he good at what he's doing?
Well, you probably should ask some of the ladies that he sees so much. You know, I mean, those are his clients. Excuse me, those are his clients.
Yeah.
But he's out every evening, so I guess he must be good. Huh?
Uh-huh.
I'm in the stage of trying to develop a partnership. I'd like to be a partner in this firm.
Right.
So I spend a lot of hours with
Right.
a lot of clients.
I
And a lot of them are women. A lot of women are in corporate America today.
Which is
So-
really our problem. It's part of our problem.
Right.
Because I know that you have to spend time at work. He spends an awful lot of time at the
Right.
house, so that I have the primary responsibility for our children. My question and my concern is, and that's one reason that I wanted us to come here, so that maybe through talking he could come to understand that he has some responsibilities too.
Right.
And they don't
Right.
include spending evenings out talking to women who are not always your clients,
Okay.
Bill.
This
Okay.
is
Just hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Let me come back to that. I'm going to come back to that. What about you, Leslie? What kind of work do you do?
I work too, and I have to
Uh-huh.
work, and I have to be out of the house a lot.
Sure.
I work for Central Telephone Communications,
Uh-huh.
and I'm the director of customer service there. And that,
Ooh,
needless to say,
Very busy.
requires a lot of time and
very
effort.
busy.
And
Uh-huh.
plus, with our little children, and
I don't know how you do
Bill
it.
not
I don't know
being,
how you do that.
we're not doing it. That's exactly what's happening.
Uh-huh.
At least I'm doing the best that I can.
Right.
I work on the average of 70 hours a week, and
I work
you know,
close to that.
I'm sure you
Out
do.
of the house, and then
I'm
that
sure
doesn't
you
include
do.
the time in the house. I have the
Right.
primary responsibility of doing the housework, the shopping,
And
the
your
child
children are
care.
very small.
They're very
Very
small.
small, 5 and 3.
Right.
I'm sure they keep
Right
you
at
very
home.
busy.
Yes, and I actually take responsibility for Bill's son by his first marriage,
Uh-huh.
Bill Jr.
Yeah.
on occasion,
It's more than a.
not regularly. I mean,
When is the last time that you went to pick up Bill Jr. and took him back home?
Okay.
Or
let
make
me,
the
let me come
arrangements?
back to that. Let me come back to that. I'm sure you have lots of issues. Sounds like you. How long have you been together?
7 years.
7 years. Uh-huh. Okay.
7 long
And,
years.
So it sounds like you both are feeling very frustrated about what's going on or what's not going on between
Well,
the two of
you know, I mean, she has zero understanding about what's going on. It makes it
Right.
very difficult.
See, that's
we
part
used
of the
to
problem.
communicate.
It's
now-
always me. I have the zero understanding. He understands it all.
Sure.
He understands it all.
Sure.
That's the problem.
Right.
You know,
Got it.
I don't think he is frustrated. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for me
Right.
making the appointment.
Right.
I think
Okay.
he's happy that it just goes on, and I just work myself
I'm
to a
frustrated,
frazzle.
but I think it's our responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, we should be able, as two adults, to sit down and talk about our problems.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
when
as
we
two
do,
adults,
it,
we ought to
it
be able to
goes
do a
just
number
like
of
this.
things.
She
Okay.
just goes on and on and on, and I don't have an
let me
opportunity.
come back to this. What do you suppose needs to happen as a result of you being here today, so that you can say, sort of looking back at this time, oh, let's say 3 months from now, 6 months from now, when you look back at this period in your life, so you can say to yourselves, that was a good idea that we went and talked to Insu. That was helpful. What
Well,
needs
I
to
would hope
happen?
that
What needs to
Bill
happen?
could come up with some kind of understanding of what his responsibilities, and that in these sessions he could really hear what I am saying, because at home he
Okay.
really doesn't listen, and therefore he could change his behavior so that we could be as we were earlier in the marriage,
Really?
you know, listening to one another and communicating. But he
Right.
seems to have
That's
strayed
what
from
it-
that.
That's what we need.
What?
Communication.
Okay.
If we can come out of this with some ground level communication, I will think that it has been
Okay.
successful.
Okay.
But I mean, you know, we just have a
All
problem being able to talk
I understand.
together.
I
in
talk,
the same
you don't
room
even say
and
anything
hear
when I
each other.
talk
Okay.
anymore.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Now, let me come back to this. You mentioned Bill being more responsible.
Yes, I'd like
Okay.
to see more of that.
All right.
I appreciate him as a provider.
Right.
You know, I appreciate him as a husband. I do love him.
You do.
And I know he does work hard.
You do love him.
Yes, I do.
Ah.
I do.
Uh-huh. Okay. So when he is more responsible, what will he be doing that he's not doing right now that will let you know he's being more responsible?
He will take responsibility more for our children. He will take more responsibility for his own son, whom I love very much too.
Okay.
He will take responsibility to include me and have respect for me. Include me in his activities and have respect for me. It hurts me
Okay.
to be out
Okay,
and
let me
hear
come
my
back to
girlfriends talk about his girlfriends that they see.
Okay. Let me come back to this. What will...
At 70 hours a week, you know, it's really difficult
Okay.
for
Let
me
me
to
come back
be.
to this. All right, hold on. I'm going to come back to you on that. What will Bill be doing exactly that will let you know that he is being responsible around the house with the children, with his son, and what will he be doing that he's not doing right now that will let you know?
Right now, I'm always reading the bedtime stories because he's out doing
Okay.
whatever. I'm
So
putting
he
the
will be
children to
doing
bed.
some of those?
Yes, especially on
Uh-huh.
the weekends when you don't have to carry the load that you carry during the week.
Okay.
I would like some help around the house. He
Like
thinks
what?
that I'm the
What?
built-in maid. It feels like
What would he
I'm
be
doing
doing?
all the cleaning, I'm doing all the washing, I'm doing all
Right.
the ironing, and I'm
Right.
doing all the cooking. He
Right.
doesn't. I
So
have to
what would he
cook for
be
the children.
doing?
He's never home.
What would he be doing
He would
when
be
he's more
helping. He
helpful?
would be planning. He would be going to
Look,
the grocery store.
we could hire somebody, but for some reason you don't
Bill,
want to do
how
that.
could we
You
hire
keep
someone
saying
we
you
don't
want
have the
nobody
money?
around the kids.
We don't have the money, dear.
Okay,
Oh,
hang
We're
on a
spending
minute.
a large
how much
portion
would it cost?
in,
How
in
much would it
child
cost?
support for Bill
How much
Jr.
would it cost?
Okay, hang on a minute.
More than we
hang on a
have.
minute, Belle. Hang on a minute. Just a minute. I'm gonna come back to you on that. So he will be reading bedtime stories.
Yes.
He will be doing what else?
He would be helping with the shopping. He would be
Okay.
helping with household duties, the
Like
cleanups.
what? You mean washing
Shopping.
dishes?
Yes, he could help
Yeah.
once in a while. Once in a
Hold
while,
on,
you
wait.
could help
Okay.
washing
I'm
dishes.
Okay.
going to be frank.
Okay.
If I work 70 hours a week, I do not have time to wash dishes.
But I
okay?
have time
I'm
because
not
I
gonna
work
wash no
50.
dishes.
Plus, I have all the
That doesn't even make
responsibilities for the
sense.
children.
That doesn't look. That
Okay.
doesn't even make
Well, we
sense.
have
Okay.
a dishwasher.
Hang
It's
in a
not
minute.
that difficult. You could help.
Hang on a minute. Okay, you guys. Hang on a minute. Slow down a little bit because I need to know how I can be helpful to you. Okay, so I need to know from both of you what needs to happen so that I am helpful to both of you. So let me come back to this. What would he be doing different, let's say 3 months from now, 6 months down the road?
I think even though it's important that he is building the partnership, and I realize it takes time, and I try to be supportive,
Okay.
he also has to build a relationship at home. We have little ones.
So
They
what
don't
would he be
even know
doing?
you.
So what would he be doing
He,
to build a relationship at home?
he would be communicating more with
Okay.
me.
Okay.
He would be taking an active role with our children. Our
Alright.
children, he is just someone who comes in the morning and leaves. I mean, they don't even have
Okay.
a concept of who you are. And I think that's a shame.
Okay.
Well,
now,
y- y-
let me come back to you, Bill, on this. I'm assuming you want to have this relationship with Leslie also?
yes, of course.
You do. You do.
Yes, I love
Oh.
her as well.
You do.
Yes.
Does she know how much you love her?
Do I know?
She should.
She should.
I mean, you know,
Yeah? What do you think? What do you think? Does she
you know,
know?
we've been together for 7 years. I love her. I haven't left her. I wouldn't leave her. This is my wife. I love her. I love my children as well. You know, the thing is,
Do you see? Do you see?
Well-
He has a wedding ring. I wear mine. He doesn't even wear his. Doesn't wear it.
look, here's the thing.
So
I
what would you?
figured that my children are 3 and 5 years old.
Mhm.
So you don't
that
wear
I
your
can
wedding ring
put
because
in
of that?
these. Will you let me talk, please?
Mhm.
Go on.
I figured that they're 3 and 5 years old. That if I put in these hours now,
Mhm.
when they are older and they'll be able to appreciate me more, that I will then have more time to spend
I
with them.
see.
That's the principle that I'm operating under. I mean, I have an option here. Either I can stay at home and wash dishes, or I can spend 70 hours a week trying to build up this practice so that as an eventuality, you don't even have to work. And you don't seem to have any
Oh, wow.
I don't
patience
have to
or
work.
understanding
So
or
that's what you like to
cooperation to
have.
try to.
Uh-huh. So you really are working for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
And what
I'm
would
trying
it
to
take?
secure a future, not just for myself, but for all of us.
Right. Now, what can Leslie do to be helpful so that she understands
Well, if
how
it's
hard you're working?
if it's unbalanced right now,
Right.
if she needs to do more at home and
Right.
I need to do more away from home, she needs to be able to understand that. You need to be able to work with me
I
on
see.
this. Okay? I mean, we have a 7-year investment as an eventuality. We're going to be together. So all I'm saying is she should be able to do most of
I
the
see.
stuff at home.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Gotcha.
Let me work these. It's like I'm working 2 jobs right now.
Okay.
Let me work these 2 jobs,
I'm
and
working 3.
within
Okay.
within
Hang
a
on
couple
minute.
years.
Okay. Let me ask. I'm going to ask both of you some very strange questions that will take some imagination on both of your parts. Do you
Okay.
both have a good imagination?
Yeah,
I try.
You try. Okay.
she does.
All
She
right.
does.
All right, here comes. Let's say, as a result of a miracle, you believe in miracles?
Known of a few.
Yes? Is that right? Yeah? Okay. So, as a result of that, the problem that brought you here today, gone. Just like that. Just solved. Just like that.
That would be a miracle.
That would be nice. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Okay? All right? That would be nice. But this miracle happens to happen in the middle of the night when both of you are sleeping. Like tonight, for example. When you go to bed tonight, when you go home and go to bed tonight, this happens. So you don't know that this has happened. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, what will be the first small clue to you? Wow, something must have happened during the night. The problem is gone. How will you discover this?
I'll smile first thing in the morning instead of avoidance.
You will smile at Leslie.
He would put
I
his
don't know,
arm
maybe.
around
He'll
me.
put your arm, okay. He'll put his
which,
arm around you,
would
okay.
be a real sign of a miracle at this
Okay.
point.
All right. So suppose he does. What will you do in response to that? What would it?
I won't
what
turn
would
my
she-
back to him.
Okay. Okay. Is that right? Is that what she would do? Would that be a miracle for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
I
would
think it would.
that would be a miracle for you.
It would be very different.
That would be different. Okay.
Yeah, it would be a miracle. It would. Yeah,
hmm
Okay.
it would really be different than what's been going on as of late.
Okay. So when she turns her back towards you instead of, so she's facing you. When you smile at her, she'll face you instead of turning her back towards you. What will you do when you see her do that?
Oh, I suppose I'd embrace her. Probably.
Uh-huh. So you'll give her a hug.
Yeah.
Huh. What about you, Leslie? What will you do when he gives you a hug?
Well, if he hugs me, I'll hug him back.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. What will come after that?
Well, Saturday?
A miracle.
That's true.
A miracle.
Okay, that's true. Okay. Okay. When was the most recent time when you had a morning like that?
Hmm.
When would you say was the most recent time? Maybe not all of it, but just the pieces of that, parts of that sort of miracle picture.
Been a while.
Probably
It's
right
been a
after
while.
Evelyn was born.
Is that right?
That's almost
Well,
2 years, almost 3 years ago.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Really, I think
Yeah.
so.
Uh-huh.
Am I right? Can it be
well,
right sometimes?
I don't know if it's
Okay.
quite
Yeah.
that.
Can it be,
Okay.
can it be right there? See?
You know,
Okay.
somewhere in that framework.
Okay,
I would say it's
so
been that long.
well, not all of it, but just the pieces of that.
It's been a couple of years.
It's been a couple of years.
We've been
It's been a
avoiding.
while.
Yeah, we've been
in our-
avoiding. You know, he's
We've been
out a
in
lot. I take care of the kids. I bury myself in my job, but I'm not married to my job. You
Right.
know, I'm married to him,
Right.
and my job is important. My children are precious to me, but I want the whole thing, and I want
You
to
want
be-
every right. So
Right,
you
well,
want this relationship.
Right. I
back.
know it won't always be, peaches
Right.
and cream, but
Right.
it's not supposed to be,
Yeah. So
Right,
it's
there
pretty
is
bad.
whatever.
Okay. Okay. So let me come back to this tomorrow morning. What when the children know, see the two of you tomorrow morning, what would they see different about the two of you that would tell them, wow, something happened to mom and dad?
Wow.
If they could talk, I realize they're very young and they may not be able to have the right words for it.
Well,
But if they could talk,
Carl knows something is going on because he always asks me, why are you and Daddy always yelling at each other? You know, I tell him not to yell at his little sister.
yeah.
And I say, I haven't even told you this. And then he says to me, well, you know, you and Daddy are always yelling. Why do you always tell me not to yell? See, what do I say in situations like that?
So what would you notice different about the two of you tomorrow morning?
Some warmth.
Yeah, I don't think our kids have seen us embrace. They probably don't even remember it.
So he may see the two of you embracing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else? What else would he see?
Well, we would go somewhere together. So that would really be a miracle. You know, instead of me throwing
You mean
in
the family of four?
all four
Okay,
of
all
us.
four of you will go somewhere.
Right, someplace.
Okay.
And
Someplace
not,
fun?
Not, yeah, someplace fun where we're
fun.
not just dropping them off on the way to work, you know.
Okay.
Just all of us being in the same space.
That would be a miracle for
And-
him.
That would be different.
That would be different for him. Okay.
Mhm. Not getting ready to go to the babysitters or daycare and not getting ready to go to bed. If we were,
That would be different
yeah,
for
I
them.
mean, we don't, that's when we're all four
Yeah.
together.
It's really
And sometimes the kids are in
sounds
bed when
pretty
you get
hectic.
home.
Sounds like your life is pretty hectic.
Yeah, it is, but I still say, you know, I mean, it's not always going to be like this.
Of course not. I'm not sure this is realistic or not, but suppose you do. How would Leslie be different with you? What would she do different?
Well, I suppose, you know, I mean, she'd be warmer.
She would
get
be
along.
warmer with you?
We'd get along better.
Okay.
You know, we would communicate better.
Okay. Say some more about this getting along. What would
You
go
know, I
on?
mean,
What would go on between the two of you?
the thing is that if we have to sacrifice one
Right.
for the other,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, we could, you know, I mean, if we just try to get along,
Right.
we could get along.
Right.
But if we have to get along at the cost of me suddenly, you know, not giving the time that I need to give to my job as an eventuality, it's going to affect us financially. And I'm trying to look out for our future. And I think that we have to invest some time in that
Gotcha.
in order to, you know, to make the
Gotcha.
whole thing work.
Gotcha.
There are
And-
some ways
and,
we
you know,
should
I
be
mean, I
investing
love-
and doing
I
our
love
money
our
differently.
I love our children and I
Gotcha.
love you, you know, but I'm trying to build something.
There are
And
some
I'm
ways
trying to
we
build
could
something.
be saving money and doing better financially that doesn't require you to be out of the house 70 hours a week and meeting with these female clients, clients in quotes. Okay,
Well,
I
you
mean
tell
that's
me-
an
you
issue
tell me what it
because if
is
you were
then.
home every night and
tell
you
me
worked
what it
10
is
hours a
then.
week, if you were out
You tell
with
me what
these
it is.
clients all the time, we would still have a problem, and it's not
Okay, hang
just
on a minute.
that.
Hang on a minute. What has to come first? In order to do whatever you would like to see happen between the two of you, what might be the first small step that help you move toward that? What you like to see happen? Sounds like for
He could be
you,
honest.
what would it take? Do you think, knowing Leslie as well as you do, what would it take for her to believe you that you are being honest?
I don't know. What would it take? I mean, I'm willing to try.
Oh, you are.
What would it take?
It would help if you would call, if you would let me know about what time you're going to come home. It would I don't need to know every client that you're going to meet, but I would like to be included in your life in a way that I think is respectful.
That's what you really want, isn't it?
Okay,
You
I'll
want to be
call.
part of Bill's life.
I'll call. I can do that. That's
can
not
do that.
unreasonable.
Okay.
Okay, and sometimes I get caught up into the throes of business,
Yeah.
and I don't call.
I see.
Okay, but I can call. That I can do.
I
What
would
about,
also
what about for
appreciate.
you? What about for you, Leslie?
Mhm.
What can Bill do to be helpful so that you know that he is committed to this marriage as much as you are?
Well, I just said I would call. What would she do? Not what could I do? What could she do? Isn't that the question?
Okay.
I'm already doing as much and more than my share. That's the problem. That's why we're here.
Please look. I just said I'd call.
What can he do?
Leslie, I haven't been calling Okay, I admit to that. I cop to that. I don't call regularly when I'm late. I just assume you know. I'll stop. I'll take the effort to call. Okay, to try to appease you.
Would that help? Do you think? How would that help?
You're going to do it because you think it's going to help, or is it just appeasement? Because then I'm going to hear it later in an argument. You got me calling in. Checking in.
Now
so if that's not sincere, don't even say that.
She's programming an argument that hasn't even happened.
Right.
Okay? Don't do that.
Okay. Now, let me come back to you, Leslie. What do you need so that you feel that Bill understand how hard you are working to make this marriage work, to make this family go? What do you need from Bill?
I need some support from Bill. I mean, I work more than 8 hours a day also, and then I come home. I mentioned that I needed him to take more responsibility with child care arrangements, everything, doctor's appointments, visits, shoes, clothes. Sure. I do that all. He doesn't even ask me any questions about how was the day with the kids. You come in, you say how the kids. If sometimes you're not even listening. You walk right by and say they've both been in a train wreck. You wouldn't even hear it.
So he's asking and being concerned. Sounds like that's what you want.
Well, you heard it. She just made an assumption that I don't hear. I mean, if I didn't want to know, I wouldn't ask.
Well, when you come in the house, common courtesy, you're going to ask how your kids are. But one day I think I'll try that.
No,
the kids are